It is Wednesday, May 13th, and I'm here with Sara Haines. Hello, Sara.
Hi, Brian.
Hump Day, you're back.
Happy Hump Day.
All right, let's talk about the Disney upfronts last night. Now, this is really fun. For people who don't know what an upfront is, this is when a network, and all the big networks do it, and all the big companies do it, they lay out what their plans are, the exciting new shows that are coming out. It's all about TV and what's new in television. And we are lucky enough to get invited every year.
Yeah.
This was very exciting because all six of the co-hosts, the Infinity Stones, as I call them, all six, were gathered together on the red carpet, or the blue carpet, actually. And that was pretty fun. It's fun to have you guys out in public together as a unit, don't you think?
Yeah, well, it's fun for so many reasons. This is something that really is participatory. Everyone does it. Like everyone, the talent involved, you show up. It's not really like optional. It's like you go.
Like people like you were there, and also like stars.
Yeah. Jalen Brunson was there. But like you think of all the breadth of the Disney company, and then to see the people in one room, it's actually really cool. Because you look around and you're watching to see all the people you watch on TV. For me, you know, the whole Good Morning America family, but all the ABC News, the local, you see all those people. Then you get to the sports lane and you're seeing athletic greats and ESPN personalities.
The Manning brothers are there.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson, Cooper Flagg.
Shaq's walking around.
The Savannah Bananas.
All right, so the Savannah Bananas, this is one of the people that you were very excited about.
Wait, but I didn't finish. My third tier
ahead.
is like actors you've watched forever. I looked over and I was like, there's Zach Braff, and there's Kimberly Williams Paisley, Tiffany Amber Thiessen,
Tiffany.
Kaya Gerber. And you're like, how are all these things in one room right now?
It's very cool. It reminds me, like when I used to go to the primetime Emmys,
Yeah.
I used to get to go to the Governor's Ball afterwards, and it's like you're walking through your favorite shows, because this is the time I was there. It's like, oh, the Sopranos are all at one table, and then over here is the cast of The West Wing, and over here is the cast of Scrubs, and things like that. And that's what it was like last night.
That is exactly what it's like. And it's so casual in that lounge they take us to that you really do chat. What I would say about this version of the upfronts after all these years is this might have been my favorite, because there were so many moments where here you're in a lounge, and we just talked about how cool the people are, and there's drinks and food, so you can be distracted. The amount of times I looked up and I saw the room looking up, it was like the performance of the show that was up on the screen kept owning the room.
Olivia Rodrigo performed. It was
thanks for that warning.
Yeah, sorry, we should have been in the seats for that. But we
I
were
know,
in
I
the
would have
lounge.
if I had known. I was like, whoa.
The lounge is cool though. So, all right. So to your point, like, you know, I'm talking to the cast of Scrubs. I got some very precious time with Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Was it precious for her as well?
And she seemed okay. She didn't seem to mind me talking to her about 90210 episodes that meant a lot to me, or Saved by the Bell.
She probably doesn't have the recall that you do. So
no, I think, we have daughters that are similar ages, and we were talking about how watching 90210 back or trying to get them into it, they find it very slow.
Oh, I'm sure.
And for her, it's probably uncomfortable because,
Yeah.
But she was lovely. She's so lovely and so nice.
She's been on the show.
She's been on the show, and there are a few people on earth that meant more to 15-year-old Brian than Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
I mean,
other big moments here. I met the NFL commissioner, Alyssa and I did, which was exciting. Roger Goodell. And we talked to him for a while. This was impressive for you. So you were doing well in the room. I know Alyssa was complaining a little bit because you were so taken by the Savannah Bananas that A, she wanted to move around and meet other people. B, she felt like maybe you were uncomfortably flirting with 19-year-old boys.
They're 28, and I wasn't flirting.
All right.
They seemed very young to me.
Yes.
But I was so... that room feels overwhelming in the best way for me. And even Alyssa said at one point, she quoted how many upfronts she's been to. She's like, you've been coming for a while. And I thought, you know what? I really have at this point, and I don't know how many years it's been.
Right.
And I still sit in that room thinking, what am I doing here? This room is so impressive. And so to hear these young guys who are at their first upfront, and they're like, there's one point where this guy from Colorado was like, yeah, I'm like just a guy from Colorado. What am I doing? I was like, just a girl from Iowa. I don't know. But it was so relatable that I still feel that. Yeah. And so much of the Savannah Bananas success was unforeseen. It was like lightning
fantastic.
in a bottle.
Yes.
So each one, as we were talking, they were so warm. Whereas I didn't feel as comfortable like just plopping down with Tiffany Amber Thiessen and chatting, which you clearly did, to see the excitement around the Savannah Bananas, the unifying
I
joy
think
they bring.
Alyssa was hoping to move on to Kit Harington, a.k.a. Jon Snow,
Yes.
who was over by the bar.
Yeah.
And she was unable to leave because you guys were talking to the
She
Bananas.
literally said to me, do you think we should maybe take a lap? And I thought, oh, sure. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that. And we wandered off. But I now see that she was probably trying to do that for a while.
Yes, that's okay.
But I love her.
I was very impressed by you because we were in the after party, and Yankee legend Jorge Posada comes over by us, and I'm very excited because I'm a Yankee fan, and I see Jorge Posada walking over, and he comes up to you and asks for a photo.
Yes. He said he was a big fan.
He was a big fan.
By the way, it wouldn't matter who he was. I'm always flattered when someone says that. So he was
Sure.
like, I really enjoy watching you. I'm a big fan. Can I get a picture? And I thought, sure. And then it was after where you said, I've never been more impressed with you than I am
Legitimately.
right
I was like, oh my God.
because
it's
I
Jorge.
didn't. I know the name Jorge Posada.
He's part of the Core Four.
Core 4. Is that a Marvel? No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm
the
kidding. I'm
Yankees.
teasing you. But I.
Andy Pettit, Mariano Rivera, Jorge Posada, Derek Jeter.
Okay, I know those names. I just may not have been able to place him looking so nice in a suit. So I was grateful for you saying that. And then I was like, oh, I should have said something.
Now, I have a story about Jorge Posada that I want to tell.
Because you're claiming the cheer. I know.
Yeah, I'm going to be mocked by everybody for saying this, but it's true, and no one believes me except the people that were there. But when Jorge Posada was on the Yankees and he was a star, and he would come up to bat, the crowd would yell. Someone in the crowd will yell, hip, hip. And then the rest of the crowd will yell, Jorge!
Oh, Jorge.
Jorge. So it would be, hip, hip, Jorge.
Okay.
Now, what people don't know, I invented that. Brian Tetta, at a Yankee game, started that cheer for the first time in, I believe it was, I want to say 1999.
Well, my dad invented the Post-it.
No, see, you're making things up now. You're doing the Romeo and Michelle. You think I don't know this? I'm telling you it happened. The people that were there in the bleachers know it happened.
Well, then at least a handful of people give you the credit you
All right.
deserve.
This is one of several stories I have that nobody believes me about, but it's fine.
Add it to the list.
It's right there with Bradley Cooper. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that another time. All right. We also hung out with the stars of the Deli Boys.
Oh my gosh. I love Sagar and Asif. So this is our third upfronts. Alyssa and I consider them our double date.
Yes.
We met 3 years ago and we ended up hanging out and really laughing about how they had become fast friends because I think I'm right here. The part Sagar wanted, Asif got in one of the shows they were doing in auditioning circles. It's very intimate. And that's when he's like, who's this guy? Now they're best friends. And it always is Alyssa and I. So last year we run into him. Last night we run into him. We're like, this is a thing. It's our double date, our annual double date. They're just such a good time.
Not yet
and
on
they're
The View,
hilarious.
so we'll get them on The View.
No, we're
for
getting
sure.
them on
Yes,
The View.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I was confronted and said, yes, I will do it.
Cornered and gonna happen.
It's going to happen, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think, well, I mean, it's, we're talking about people that are important to us. There's also just like, high wattage blockbuster stars that Robert Downey Jr. was there. And I mean, it was really an incredible
like
amount of
almost
people.
shock. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Looking around the room though, it's literally a room when you say, does that look like so-and-so? It's going to be
it's
so-and-so.
always that person.
Yeah.
Yes. Alyssa, very good at spotting people and knowing who they are. I was surprised by that. She was very, very good at it. A couple
Except
times.
when it came to athletes. She posed
she
with
doesn't know.
Jalen Brunson and was like, I don't know who that is, but he's really cute. And I was like, it's
The Prince of
Jalen
New York
Brunson.
right now.
I'm going
Yeah.
to pretend I'm not offended by what you just said.
All right.
But Whoopi hooked us up because I'm a huge Knicks fan, huge basketball fan.
Mm-hmm.
She calls me over and I was so excited that that left me like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do with my hands. I was like, oh my God.
Well, Whoopi was the coach of the Knicks in the movie Eddie, so that's part of this. So, she's part of Knicks culture.
Yeah, and she probably makes Jalen call her coach. But I also saw Cooper Flag, which I spotted him
exciting.
across the room, and I was so proud of myself. But I looked over and I go, oh my God, Alyssa, we're going to say hi. And I dragged her. And also she didn't know who that was. But I said, these are impressive people.
Yeah, I got into a nice conversation with Tom Hiddleston, Loki from
Yes.
Yeah, which is very
I
exciting.
didn't even see him.
It was at the after party, but then Anna embarrassed me. But we'll talk about that on Anna's podcast. of
Save
course.
that trash for that one.
Exactly. All right. Lena Waithe was on the show today, and I could tell that all of you were really taken with her. Not to say you aren't always enamored with our guests, but you seemed... You said it afterwards. She has some riz.
She has riz, swagger. She's got this confidence and kind of oozes competence.
Yes, and charm.
And like there are some guests that come here and when they speak, I find myself clapping like I'm watching them rather than sitting next to them because I'm like, yes, what you said. She had this impassioned speech about how important, if you see what's going on in the world, it's important you support the arts because the arts are the reflection of what's going on in the world.
Absolutely.
And then she went on to make the point of being a Black woman and how in this world, she's like, I ask people, how are you showing up for those people? You have to come see these shows. You have to come see their work.
Right.
And I just thought she was so like not dancing around. She just like to the audience, making eye contact, said, so I'm inviting you now. Come show up for me. Come support my work. And I thought, bravo. Like she just left you like, yes. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that heartfelt moment, I was like, I'm absolutely going to.
You're going.
I'm coming to see your show.
Absolutely. All right. So yesterday we talked about the White House. We're going to go to politics now. Yeah. Talked about the White House rolling out a new initiative that they claim will make it easier and safer for and more affordable to give birth in America. This struck a chord with you, with the whole table, really. But tell me more about how you were feeling about it.
Well, so I like to look at things and not. I think it's hard in the era of Trump right now because there's been so many things that are just unprecedented that you hear about something like this, and I try to come at it with a clear head and look at it without any, leanings. We absolutely need to do better with our postpartum care and with moms in general. We're the wealthiest country, and our maternal mortality rates are crap, even worse for women of color.
Absolutely.
Like twice as bad for women of color. But I also see that this administration is like touting that constant, like, be a mom, you got to be a mom, you got to have babies, and as I'm aging and watching people that for whatever reason didn't have kids, and I'm not even gonna fill in the blank of how many different ways you get there, they're all over. I feel this sensitivity as someone who loves so many of those people, admires so many of those people, and due to circumstance, I could have been one of those people, that we seem to be placing the worth of a woman on these babies. And yet I watched this administration roll out a website like this, and it's like a lot of references, and I'm thinking, okay, that's great. But you're pressuring everyone to have babies because there were all kinds of crisis moments. Like I was clicking through the site, and it was all about anti-abortion, and it was funded by like pro-life church. There was a propaganda message in there. Mm-hmm. And I say that all because no one wants the pressure of making a decision to terminate a pregnancy. That it's not easy decisions, but I'm tired of everyone putting everything on the weight of women's shoulders. Like if you're going to create a site like that, put no judgment, put no messaging, say, we're going to show you all the cards so you have any resource you could possibly need. There was a lot of thumb on the scale on this website. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, I cannot argue with having everyone come in with investments. Like to invest in a baby and have that mature is awesome. But again, the problem for so many is the money they need right now.
Right.
People can't pay for housing. This is the first generation that's going to be worse off than their parents in the history of the country. It's gas, you name it. Nobody can afford anything. There's nothing that makes you think less about bringing another life in when you can't take care of your own life.
Right.
And I think there's just like a tone deafness to so much of maternal care and women that they're not realizing.
And I want to just say this because people will take what you say and show a clip and not take into account who you are, what you are. You're a mother of 3 kids.
Yeah.
3 young children, and they're very much the center of your life in every way.
Center of my life.
Yes.
But as someone who dealt with perinatal and postpartum depression, anxiety, it's the most transformative thing I ever went through. And it gave me a perspective that kind of looks back and looks around at women everywhere and the struggle of just being a woman and then all that's placed on that through motherhood. And I've been participating a lot. I recently went to a dinner with Dr. Becky Kennedy, The Good Inside. She's phenomenal. And the whole dinner was around the things we wish we had known as moms. And everyone in that room had some connection. Everyone, I think, was a mom, but they also professionally were invested. There was like the AI, Mother AI. There were products. There were apps for moms. Mm-hmm. And it was a room where everyone opened up about the absolute privilege and joy of having the opportunity to be a mom, while also seeing all of the difficulties and the struggle and the lack of resources that women everywhere have. Right. And in that room, everyone probably had those resources, but there were women making it possible for other women to have help along the way. Honoring the women that aren't moms, but become aunties, that are just as maternal, just as nurturing. There's so many layers to motherhood, and that's why I'm kind of all over the map here. But I think it strikes a chord with me because this is such an important issue. Right. And I don't think throwing down a website and a couple phone numbers replaces that you're missing the point of why women are struggling. There's also fertility issues.
Absolutely.
Everywhere. Women are struggling, and why are we not throwing money at female like that? We're taking money away from medical funding and research. Well, why are so many women struggling to have kids? I mean, it's just, I edit the crap out of this because I'm all over the map, but this is just something that is top of mind for me.
All right. Well, I think your perspective on it's really interesting as a mom of three.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's interesting to hear what you have to say about it. There's another story I want to get to, which is probably of less immediate import, but very interesting. It's about Katy Perry, and I wanted to get your take on this. She had this song, "The One That Got Away," and it's about her ex, Josh Groban. We know Josh Groban.
Yes.
And
you raise me up.
Wow. Wow.
I can't hear his name without singing that.
That was singing?
That was Nodule singing.
Nodule singing. Okay.
Yeah.
If he's on, you can't do that.
I did it to him when he was on.
Oh, of course he did. Yeah. He just got engaged, and
congratulations.
Yeah, and Katy gave the newly engaged couple her best wishes by captioning the post "Congrats" in a video with that song playing in the background, "The One That Got Away." Do you feel like there was someone who got away from you?
No. I would say my journey, and I deeply care and respect the exes that I spent a long time with.
Yes.
They definitely got me to where I am today, but they're like the evolution of what we're attracted to is typically not always the best partners for you. Because what it is I actually learned this at Dr. Becky's dinner. She was saying that someone said, a partner is really someone that heals all your childhood wounds. And she said, not exactly. If you are attracted to someone who's good for all of that trauma, it's a privilege. Because rarely are we. We're actually drawn to people that make sense to us, which perpetuates the cycles of how we see intimacy and love. So dating history is usually not great history. Even if it was great for the moment, it's usually not the right partner for you.
Let me flip this on you. Do you think that there's someone out there or multiple people out there that believe you were the one that got away from them?
So I think it's probably more common for women to be the one that got away. And I say that only because I don't know with men and how different we are biologically that their focus is always on what will last for the long run. It's often carnal and physical. And we all know, I've been married now 12 years. You've been married longer than that.
Yeah, 20.
And then you hear like a Joy Behar talk about the importance of lust will fade, being in love will fade. It will be the person you marry has to be like your best friend. I think women are better at gauging that than men. So I definitely think I might have been the one that got away for some, but I can't even say that fully because they weren't right for me. So I don't know if I was really ever, but I think it's more likely the women get away from the men.
Right. But you think there's a good chance that there's a bunch of men strewn throughout
Not
the country
a bunch.
that are watching TV at 11 a.m. drinking a Coors Light and thinking, that could have been my girl.
Yeah. The guy that I think thinks that is probably drinking matcha tea or something.
Okay.
Not a beer.
Sure.
I would never leave the guy that's drinking the beer.
Yeah. There we go. All right. There was a survey on the Hot Topics list today that said nearly half of Americans are lacking fun in their lives. Do you feel that way? And what constitutes fun for you?
I do think so. I do think I see where that stat comes from. I have a lot of fun when it comes to my kids. Without the trauma around that, the fighting and all the other things, I find them fun. Like I enjoy that time. But there's really an important place for adult fun too. Like with your partner, with your friends. We're at a tough place right now where I don't even think we can prioritize that. Like, example, last night we had the upfronts and I'm out late.
Yeah.
We struggle so much to get the type of infrastructure and coverage we need for work events.
Sure.
that there's really no room for much else. So, and obviously as a working mom, I want to see my kids on the weekend.
Right.
So I don't want to give those away lightly, any of the nights or the evenings or the afternoons. So we end up doing a lot of family things, but you're never off duty then. You never can quite kick back enough and have a good dinner or drink or do things because you're always parenting.
I mean, I legitimately had fun last night, but I was also working.
So I had fun, but I was watching, and Max also was out for a social thing. He stayed out way later than I. I'm racing home to try to get them to bed. I feel that pressure more than he does. So I'm doing a work thing, racing out while I was having fun, but I can never let go and actually, part of it's the responsibility of just being a parent. But again, no one can fully get the kids to sleep. They're a lot. They fight. So I just find we're always running on fumes and we rarely have much to give. Hence, like on Mother's Day, when I was like, my big wish, and it was a feeling I had when I woke up that morning, was like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to see anyone. I don't mind my kids and my husband. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you have fun and socialize and create all that important stuff when your tank is literally gone?
I'm trying to force myself. I have plans Friday night with friends from an old job. I'm excited about it, having dinner and going to
Is it the Letterman group?
Yeah, it's my Letterman friends.
I'm surprised you didn't drop that because you normally, we all know that's your one group of friends.
I know, I have nobody else.
You have your gambling friends, your text group.
Yeah.
I know all the groups.
Them. Yeah, you know them. All right, fine. So that's what it is. All right, I'm getting a note that you need to leave because you're going to a play.
I'm going to a show, work stuff.
I have to leave to go to another meeting. But thank you for joining me today, Sarah. It wouldn't be hump day without you.
I know.
Tomorrow, I'll be back with Anna Navarro.
That's what the Savannah Bananas said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go there.
They were 28.
I know. They could be your kids.
I know.
Tomorrow,
they could be my nephew.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
They could be your kids. Tomorrow, I'll be back with Anna Navarro, and we'll see you then.
Not my kids.
They could be your kids.